Hey buddy, Crow back again. And I originally intended this to be the first video of the year. It was going to be just, yeah, this is 2023, and here's a look around my game room or whatever you want to call it. It's quite a bit different now than it was the last time I did like a room tour, which was many, many, many years ago. Might be as far back as 2015, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I also want to get back into doing like gameplay videos, like the Crow Plays videos on this channel. I'm kind of set up a little bit better to do that now. So yeah, let me just switch the camera around. I'm just going to walk around and talk about stuff. That's all this video is going to be. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I am just using my phone for the video and the audio, and that's why this might be different sounding than my other previous videos. But yeah, just a quick look around here. You know, we've got the entertainment center. That's been there forever. There's my desk with the Frankenstein desk that I've pieced together. I built a bunch of that stuff together just because I wanted to have shelves, so I just built it myself because it's hard enough to find things specifically the way you want it, so I just started building it. The Funko Pop wall. There is a Funko Pop collection video, I think of 2017. I've sold a lot since then, but then I've also bought a lot since then. So that's the Funko Pop wall that you always see behind me. Of course, the At Games Legends pinball. We got the Stern Star Trek, which I still play quite a bit. Now, here's the Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man, and you may be wondering what's going on here. Now, a lot of times when these are not in use, I like to use them as tables. So I have this board here propping it up to make the more level. And this pop vinyl I actually wound up buying the other day, so I haven't quite put it up there yet. And this is actually a Christmas present. It's a Lego Optimus Prime, and he actually transforms after you build him. I do have another Lego set that my wife got me for my birthday, and I'll point that out when we get to it. I've already put that together. Here's the time machine that's been there forever. Yeah, quite a bit. Like, here's the Hyperball. Now, again, some of these areas is a mess here, so I've got a big mess over here. It's just stuff that I randomly grab and stuff, and lights and whatnot. And here's a DVD shelf, or the DVD and blue. No, actually, just Blu-ray. Now I think about it, and I'm actually considering selling most of that off at this point because I don't really watch any of that anymore. The cat now is back here. I built him a couple years ago. This cat tower, because when we got the dog, I wanted him to be able to eat somewhere up high where the dog can get his food. So I built this tower. I've got his water dish on that side, his food on this side. There he is over there. He yells at me constantly when he's hungry. So, and since he's in the same room, I can't avoid it. So, and then over here, I got some more games like Commodore 64 stuff, board games, and NES games, Super NES, and Nintendo 64. And there's cat food that I just keep there. So, because it's convenient. Well, I'm not going to go through the closet, but actually, here, I'll do this. I'll open up just this part so you can get an idea of what a mess this is. But I've got the TV in there. It is hooked up. The Wii is hooked up to that. And that is a 30-inch widescreen CRT TV. The thing weighs a ton, but it's pretty old. But actually, the Wii looks the best on this thing because the Wii is widescreen, but it's also not HDMI. So that looks really good on a CRT TV. Looking over here, we've got the Atari 2600 in these drawers. I'm not going to open them up, but those are the Atari 2600 games, some more Commodore 64 games, and Atari. I say I'm not going to do something, and then I'm going to do it. So yeah, Atari 2600 games, more 2600 games, and just odds and ends, and then more cartridges down here. Now these drawers are just hodgepodge. There's random crap in here, basically just cat treats and controllers, these odd end controllers, and even down here, yeah, just more odd end controllers that really should just be put into storage because I never use them. Two more CRT TVs. Gotta have the wood grain Space Command. Yeah, gotta have the Atari 2600 Andean television hooked up to that. And then this one, whenever I want to play something that is like the NES, something that's doesn't have HDMI, pre-HDMI, it looks better on this TV, to be honest. Not very often, and yeah, I got a VCR and DVD player hooked up to it. Here's more stuff over here. I realized that I was editing this video and I never pointed out the other Lego set. after after I pointed out the Optimus Prime, I realized, wait a minute, I never showed off the Lego Atari, which I have sitting on top of the TVs here. Yeah, it's all this stuff here. I thought that was pretty cool. You got the ashtrays, you got the. It took me about a week to build. Just here and there. And it's got the cartridges even. I thought that maybe you either built the cartridge or you built this scene, but no, you get both. It's got a little cartridge holder. I'm sure other people have done it, shown videos on this, even building it. The on-off switch. All these button switches act like they should. Like this springs back up, that springs back up, and these switches up, down, up, down. There are even, I don't want to get back there. Yeah, there's fake difficulty switches in the back, but they don't move. But even the joystick. But the really cool thing is this slides out and the little scene pops out. And I thought maybe you decided whether or not you built this on it or you didn't. But no, it's funny. It's really cool how just, you slide it out, and it's really clever what they did here with this. Looking over here, yeah, I mean, I think this stuff really hasn't changed. I've still got my Transformers up here. Well, I didn't dust up there. You don't really see the dust from this angle, but using the phone, you can really see the dust. I really need the dust up there. Yeah, just odds and ends over here. The TV is a 30, no, it's not 30 inch. It's a 60-inch plasma, 1080p. I haven't gotten to 4K yet. So the 4K stuff doesn't really matter to me, just odds and end controllers. I only have the PS4 here. I booted up that up the other day after it's been like a year or so since I booted up, and I had some trouble booting it up, and then it had to update and stuff. The Xbox One I haven't even booted up in even a longer time, so who knows how many updates that needs. And there's my my server over there that I watch all my videos off of. Yeah, and then the Atari, I call it the Atari box still, because it still doesn't sound right to call it the Atari VCS. That's tucked in over there, under there. Rarely play that, of course. Over here, we've got the record player, an Audio Technica. It's all basically set up. So when I do listen, normally if I'm cleaning up or working on some project, I like to listen to a record. Got a bunch of these little mini arcade units up here. Just anything that's little mini whatevers, like the Batman. One of these is Batman. I think this one. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, turn it off. I think this one is, what is this one? I can't even remember now. Is that Back to the Future? Yeah. So just some goofy stuff here. It's still kind of neat. Now I got a real mess over here, just a filing cabinet with stuff I just store away. Lots of stuff that's dusty because I never really get over there. Unopened stuff that I like to keep in boxes for whatever reason. This cabinet here is just filled with everything Mystery Science Theater. I just crammed that all into one location here. So there was like a sale at one point where everything on their website was 50% off, and I bought a ton of it. That's why I have a bunch of crap in here. Here's my desk now. A lot of this stuff I built on its own, like this whole side piece. I was like, oh, I want a little side piece here, and I couldn't find one just the right size that I wanted. Oh, I'm just going to build it. Okay. Yeah, USB thing, just my laptop's over there, crammed over because I couldn't figure out where else to put it. I've got the EcoTank printer, which honestly is amazing. I bought the thing like over 2 years ago, and I'm still using the original ink and it gets printed fairly often too. And the ink, not only that, is cheaper than a cartridge ink. And I trust this more because I could actually see the ink levels. I never trusted the ink cartridge levels that the computer would tell me. So I splurged and I bought these printers, like, more expensive, but in the long run, it's well worth it. I've got arcade controllers, my pinball controller that I built. I usually just keep right on up there, pull them down whenever necessary. If I need cables for like that and everything, I got cables hanging here. Up here, put all the mini devices, arcade minis and stuff. They're all just sitting up there. And we're getting to the Masters of the Universe section. I've started collecting those. What are they called? The Origins ones? The ones that are like, look like the old one, but they can bend, they have more posability. So yeah, these are almost all the ones that I've bought so far. There's a couple back there. I didn't want to There's another trap jaw back there with alternate coloring I didn't want to open up. But yeah, I got into that. I've thrown wondering what's under feet, just alien tape. It's a tape that sticks pretty good, but won't leave any residue when you pull it off. We got Funko sodas over there. They have a 3-liter bottle Funko, and it's Metroplex. He's probably been in videos before. Oh yeah, and my PC. I did it last year? No, 2 years ago. 2021, I believe, is when I bought this PC. I had it built at Micro Center, but I did do some upgrades since then. I actually had a problem one time where the computer wouldn't boot, and it turned out the SSD that was being used for the main system drive, it failed. So when an M2 SSD fails, what happens is you could read from it, but you can't write to it, and because of that, Windows would not boot. So fortunately, since I could read from it, I was able to copy everything off. I had to buy a new SSD to replace it, and I bought a Western Digital Black to replace that one. You can kind of see it right down there. While I was buying that, I bought another 8 terabyte hard drive, mechanical hard drive. You can't even see the other hard drives because they're on the other side of the case. But then I also bought these RGB fans because that was something I always kind of wanted to put in here was RGB fans. But I was like, I didn't want to spend all that money since I had just gotten the computer, but because these fans are expensive. And then, of course, I've got Tom and Crow. I threw them in the case because these are extra ones. These are ones I had sitting in my office at work. But since I no longer have an office at work, I had to take everything home. And when I sorted through it, I was like, hey, I'll throw these guys in the PC. And they're kind of alien taped to the back wall. You can't even see the tape, but they're not going to go anywhere. Here on the desk, the main desk, you can see I've got Elgato Stream Deck. Even though I don't really stream, this thing has been incredibly useful. More useful than I thought it would be for work, but also for video editing and, just Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, Audition, all that stuff has got great usage for this. Devastator's there because I didn't have any other place to put them. This is a monitor I bought fairly recently. I finally went ahead and got an ultra widescreen monitor, and I don't know how I ever did without this thing. And I actually splurged. This is an IPS. I can't remember the exact box. Let me pull up the box here. It's the Rogue Strix XG 349C. But then, of course, I've got the secondary monitor here. It's only 1080p, but it's 144 hertz. I kind of want to upgrade this just so both screens are at the same resolution. This keyboard is actually fairly new as well. Corsair K95 brown switches. I just really wanted a keyboard with brown switches. I had red before. And then the mouse is actually fairly new as well. This one turned out to be really comfortable. And the thing I like about this one is like the side pops out, and you could actually replace it with another. It came with another piece here. You could actually, now you got like another thing on the side here, but I actually like the other one. I'll put that back the way it was before. I never mentioned why I got this monitor. And it's because I damaged my previous monitor. What happened is I put a pair of scissors up here and they fell, hit the desk, and went into the monitor point first. Now I can still use the monitor, but it had a big, chunk taken out of the corner, and it really was annoying. And that very same day, I ran out and bought this monitor because I wasn't having it. So I've got that monitor in storage. I could use it for something maybe in the future. I could kind of show you an example of how this is going to work out better. Oh yeah, the camera here. This is the webcam I have. It's the Razer Kiyo Pro. I also have my Evercade here. I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn this on. So normally what I was doing before was I would sit here and I'd play the game, and I'd have to have a separate camera set up. But I was thinking, wait a minute, if I could just use this as a second monitor, I could just use the same camera as setup. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So I ran an HDMI cable to this monitor as well. So all I need to do now is hit this button, and it should pop up. There it is. So very convenient. Here, we're just going to take a quick look at some of the rest of the shelves I never show off here. I got the, that was from last trip to Disney World, like late 2018. They wound up building my own droid. I thought that was awesome. I didn't know you could do that until after I got there. I knew you could build your own lightsaber. I didn't know you could build your own droid. I was like, oh man, I'd much rather build my own droid. Then here's my vinyl record collection. Oh, for my birthday, I got all these Masters of the Universe books. There's one for all the comics, one for what is that one? The toys of one for the toys. That was the first one I bought, and then I wound up getting the rest of it. Somebody else was like, "Oh, I'll get you the rest of them for your birthday." He-Man and She-Ra, the complete guide to the classic animated adventures. Oh, the character guide and World Compendium, and then there's the art of the He-Man and Masters Universe, and then there's newspaper comics as well. Got some more books down there, like the Art of Atari. There's actually another one up here, Arcade. That's like video game marquees. Over here on this shelf, this is where I've got my Evercade stuff now. This actually I bought at Goodwill a long time ago. On the other side here, I've got the 3DS and just links. Oh, Atari links boxes and stuff. I can't part with the links for whatever reason. Right next to it, I've got another shelf with just filled with stuff. This was probably in the last video I made as well. PS4, Switch, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS2, Wii U, Wii, GameCube, and so on and so forth. Just a bunch of random stuff. This is the Turbo Views box set with Chris Lucci. And oh yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would never get rid of these Blu-rays. And I'm waiting for Stone Ocean to get on Blu-ray now too, now that that's done. My favorite anime series, Atari 2600 stuff. There's some Intellivision down there. Genesis down there. I didn't keep too much Genesis stuff. And in a lot of the indie box stuff I put here. Then around, got some Amiibos in box over here. And then we've got our Amiibo shelf, which hasn't really been updated in a really, really long time. But I think I have all the Smash Brother ones that were released. You got the cereal up here because that had an Amiibo in it. And this box of cereal has never been opened. That's still full. And I made a mini version of the box because I had another box and I took the RFID and I put it inside this. So it's more convenient, but I still wanted to keep a regular full-size cereal box that's never been opened. Oh yeah, I never mentioned it, but this couch is I say fairly new, but it's not new. We found this ad where somebody was giving away this couch. So I was like, yeah, let's get the couch. And my wife was like, okay, we'll throw it on top of my car. And that was a crazy ride. It was still in town. It wasn't very far, but that was freaking me out. It's like, I don't like the fact that we tied this couch to your roof of your car. We're driving through. And the reason we didn't do it in my car is because it was in the shop at the time, because I had, there was a fender bender, so to speak. So it was getting repaired. And it was like a month before I got my car back. But it didn't matter since I was working from home. The dog loves the couch. That's pretty much her couch. She spends more time sitting on it than anybody else. So yeah, that's all this video is going to be, is just me walking around rambling about stuff. Something I kind of been wanting to do for a while, but just never did. See you next time. Bye. Hey, say goodbye. Say goodbye.